Now let's move on to our another presentation which we have. Next technology presentation we have by leveraging the power of intelligent process automation in BFSI. This will be done by Mr. Ketan Sharma, Head of Sales, Apex Simplify. Ketan Sharma is the Head of Sales, Apex at Simplify. He specifies in helping organizations with effortless scalability and help reduce costing by bringing intelligent automation into their operation. Ketan holds a master from Xavier Institute of Communication and is exceptional mentor and coach. Ketan brings about a decade of experience and has worked with organizations like Times Internet and Hinduja Group, to name a few. Over to you, sir.
Everyone, very good morning, and thank you for taking out time and joining us today for this session. Also, thanks Elets team to organizing such a wonderful event and getting the BFSI community upon the most important points which are relevant in the current scenario. So, I would like to touch upon the topic of leveraging the power of intelligent process automation in BFSI. But before we dwell into it a little more, I would like to share a few thoughts. So, we have got to understand that all this change that we're talking about, specifically adoption of tech, and how do we make sure that we have advanced technology in our organization, specifically BFSI, since they are always early adopters of tech, and how do we use it in serving customers and making sure that they have the best in class customer service. I would like to ask everyone that do you think is it tech driven or is it market driven? What I mean is that there are technologies when an organization specifically introduces them. At that time, uh, a customer is not expecting it. You are serving the customer. But when customers start expecting them, it becomes a market driven. So any organization which introduces a new tech, other brands are also expected to follow suit. History is evident that it was not a long time ago when there were robotic machines were introduced in factories, and slowly every other manufacturer has to implement it and has to stay relevant and to compete in the market. Post that, if you take example of cars, a security feature like ABS or a luxury feature like steering mounted controls were very rare, and it was a tech driven where companies introduced it. But later on, now if you see today, if every consumer is expecting those basic features in every other car, why is it happening? Is because it's now market driven. You've got to have that feature with your car will sell. Similarly, use of advanced technology in AI, like AI, be it in core tech or back office operations or customer service front office operations, these have shifted from tech driven to now market driven, aka consumer expecting those services to be there, those immediate responses to be there for all the queries they have, and resolution of those queries to be there. So they are already expecting that real time solution, you will provide real time solution to the service to the queries. Let's say for example, previously even a transaction that we used to do, we used to get a confirming message or a confirming emails taking time, or sometimes it was not even there. But now you have got to send them real time a real time update that you have done this transaction. So it goes with the transaction itself. It cannot. We have seen RBI and earlier the bank pushing the transactions in real time. So goes with the customer service as well. Now, to achieve this at scale and as fast as we want to achieve it, I think IPA is one of the ways. Now, intelligent process automation is reshaping the BFSI in post-pandemic world, in the new normal, or we can say it anything. But I particularly think it has been there for a long time and it's almost real now. It's again, as I say, it's a consumer driven. They are expecting better customer service, we've got to provide it. Now, so there are so many companies and organizations who have been trying to implement automation and going beyond the basic customer service experience and better security and saving operational costs, meaning delivering end-to-end automation. Now, AI and automation in financial services has been part of our lives for quite a few years, but it certainly has accelerated in the past 2 years since the pandemic came into play. And we have all understood that it's a necessity now. If you see surveys, general mood of the public, or if you see organizations like Gartner, everyone is pointing in the same exact direction. That and over time, automation has to be introduced in the BFSI or any other sector as well in later on, to make sure that we have been able to scale in a seamless manner, because serving the customers at this scale without automation is simply not possible. With that in mind, simply specifically, have introduced digital employees for the BFSI organizations. Now, what are digital employees? In our scenario, we use natural language processing as our core tech, as our proprietary tech. So software that can interpret text, can make decisions and perform tasks based on their interpretation, and can be customized to fit your needs. These are called digital employees. Basically, we envision that over time, digital employees will be working alongside human employees in making sure that superior customer service, superior customer experience is delivered. Now, when we say free text, when we say what digital employee does, basically free text could be in form of an email, it could be in form of a chat, it could be in form of a ticket that is created on a portal or a web form or customer service software. So, for example, many of the organizations are moving away from the email or chat-based customer service kind of input channel to a ticketing portal on their website, on their app. But even then, what happens once after the ticket is raised? Somebody has to respond to it, right? So that is also another form of free text. It could be in the CRM, or there could be documents attached along with the email or this ticketing system or this chat. So our Simplify has basically pioneered in extracting information from this free text and taking actions based on the information provided. There, Simplify comes into the intelligent process automation. So extracting information, understanding the context from the customer, and then along with the process automation with it, doing it, we deliver end-to-end automation. So basically, we'll take examples in a few slides later. We'll take example of a chat or an email. How does it look? A customer could be writing to you or talking to you about a service that he needs. He could also be talking about a status of the service or something that he's ordered. When it comes to BFSI, it could be account opening status. In insurance companies, it could be a claim status. In NBFCs, it could be my pay-in or payout has not happened in mutual fund companies. So all of these things have a specific intent or a specific intention that a customer is writing to. Along with this, they could also attach documents. Now, basically, documents could be of any nature. It could be a bank statement, it could be a PAN card, it could be a Aadhaar card, it could be a ledger statement. It is also dependent on the nature of the query. But Simplify basically is able to understand and interpret all of this content, including the email, the chat, the ticketing portal, or the document, extract information out of it, and then interact with all the backend systems that you have. It could be a CBS, core banking system in case of a bank. It could be a CRM system in case of an NBFC. It could be a portfolio management system in case of a mutual fund. So all those systems where APIs are present, we interact with them, fetch information from there, and then deliver it to the customer based on the response, thus delivering end-to-end automation. Now, customers essentially will write to you at their own time. They won't bother about, they wouldn't want to at least bother about what is the customer service window that you have, or what is when do they write to you, how do they write to you. They would want an instant customer service because there are organizations which are delivering that. So it has become again market driven. Consumers are expecting it. Thus, with simplified digital employees, you essentially 24/7 customer service, and that is also 365 days. And this, even if the customer inquiries increase, you don't have to hire more. You essentially have a digital employee which is capable to respond to n number of queries at any given point of time. So, in the interaction part of it, if you see that a chatbot, an email bot, and document bot is used to interact with the customer, to understand the query, nature of the query, and then what to be done with it. The decision-making engine basically allows it, based on your existing processes, that what is to be done with that set of query. You take example of account opening process in any because it's very common across BFSI organizations. So a customer writing to you about account opening, there is a process behind it. So through the decision making engine with a decision tree, we make it happen in our Simplify Studio, and then essentially then the digital employee understands that when a customer writes to you about account opening, what is the process to be followed and which system has to be accessed for opening this account for the customer. And there comes the API and RPA, an interaction with the backend systems. It understands that, check the system, update the system with the information given by the customer, archive that information if necessary, and then reply to the customer with the relevant set that your account is so it will get opened within 24 hours, 48 hours after we have verified your documents. It could, or if it's if you have identified the process rightly, then it can also tell the customer that your account is open. Now, these digital employees basically can be customized for, as we said before, it fits your needs. It can be customized for any of the processes that you have. For banks, it would assist with the customer support. For insurance company, it could be claims handling or case handling. For it could also be vendor management, accounting. For NBFCs, again, it could be customer service. So they can be customized to fit the needs. But essentially, you will have the scalability at the hand. You will make sure that your customer is getting the best-in-class customer service. You can also claim, even with a very limited team, so human employees can only work from a certain time duration, and digital employees can take care of the customer service the remaining time. And you can actually have a 24/7 customer service without having employees working 24/7. Now, that's something of a statement, right? And imagine the operational cost that you cut when you don't have a 24/7 customer service and only a digital employee working. You don't have to hire more digital employees to serve more customers. It is very scalable, flexible, and interacts with any of the systems that you have through API, essentially being future ready. So tomorrow, if you also introduce a new system into the picture, or you change your CRM, you don't have to change the digital employee or give the training to them. It's just the API interaction that you need to change, or the APIs that you need to provide to the digital employee. And hence, you have a future ready system, you have an organization which is future ready, and also our customers are seamlessly happy and they have a 24/7 interaction. Now, so we aim for increased productivity and quality, as we said. So what happens is that this is how it will be there for the future workforce. There won't be only human employees working anywhere. If you see the history, in past 50 years, we've seen that humans used to do everything, even in manufacturing organizations, in factories. Then they were assisted by machines at higher and higher levels over time. Same way in BFSI or any other organizations, even in organizations which are delivering future techs, more and more work will be taken over by machines, and then humans will be assisted by them. Make sure that they have a better productivity. We understand there is a lot of money that we spend on retention because employees are not happy. That happens because the work that we assign them is mundane. So when digital employees or the bots that we provide handles that repetitive work, handles that mundane work, then employees handle the more cognitive part of it. And when employees handle the more cognitive part of it, they essentially are happy in the job they do. They don't feel that they are doing something again and again every other day. And customers are also happy because they get standard responses. They get immediate response, resulting into better availability of customer service and better NPS in the customer satisfaction. So I think I'll put my case here. Feel free to contact us. Here are my details, and you can also contact us on our company website. We are basically in India. We are headquartered in Pune. Global headquarters is in Oslo, Norway. But we'll be happy to talk to you. If you have any questions around IPA, around how digital employees can help you, or how you can create your own digital employee, do talk to us. We'd love to answer your queries. Feel free to also ask us questions in the Q&A session if you need. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Mr. Ketan Sharma. That was very informative presentation by you. I would like to thank you with giving a token of participation certificate. Mr. Ketan Sharma, Head of Sales, Simplify.